Give thanks and praise me, brethren. It's another week, it's here, you know what I'm saying? For your bun, all the bad man them out there, Rasta Motown. I say, a lot of people say about school fee do the boom boom thing. But we have a lot of fake people wearing fake hair and wigs. Them are talk about discipline. Me feeling irate for the show today. Trust me, I yeah. Me feel break it down to the purest levels for your mental liberation and consumption.
Life can get a little pricey out there. The passing pleasure of a restaurant meal, or those sports magazines you never really finish. But what if that lasted a lot longer? Well, with GoTV it can. Because with a whole range of different package options to choose from, you can get a whole month's worth of moments for both you and your family at a price you can afford.
This is gonna be great.
GoTV, love it.
Part one and welcome to the show. This is Backpage on City TV. My name is Caleb Kuda. If you are watching on DSTV, the channel is 363 Go TV. That should be 1H2. And then also you're catching the stream live as well on City TV's Facebook page. If you're doing so, please do well to share with your brethren. Burn it down. So every week comes with its own controversies, and this one hasn't been any different. This week's though has been one that has got many saying that GES, the bosses of GES have shown that they have no balls at all. Please, I'm not saying that, I'm only quoting Black Rasta. And others to say all along they didn't know Motown was no town at all, but a huge palace stuck in an old desolate village called Traditions. Others to say, your pay idea won't allow anybody to come. But what caused all this? My colleague Ras Ni Ama has been following the matter, listening to the Magais and all the guys in this matter.
Tyrone Iwas Magai is still wearing the white shirt and khaki trousers characteristic of an SHS Form 1 boy. But he's not the average Form 1 boy you'd find in any school. He was a senior school prefect in junior high school and awarded the best student at the time of his completion. He went on to attain aggregate 6 in the BECE, earning him a place to study general science at the prestigious Achimota School in Accra. However, one thing stands in the way of his dream, as he has been turned away due to his hairstyle.
Oh, okay. So, my guy, when you got there, what exactly happened?
And when I got there with my staffs and everything, one of the mistress, she was packing the presented items into the cars. And she told me she wants nothing to do with me because of my dreadlocks. So I should pack my stuffs and everything and sit away from her stuffs. That's all the items collected. Wow.
So basically, they didn't treat you like a human being deserving any curtsies just because of your hair, right? Wow. But my guy, you didn't mention if she herself knew where her hair is coming from, whether it's a dead goat's hair from India or a sick horse's tail, or you didn't see it. Anyway, my guy, so, yeah, my guy, no, he was not alone, because there was the Nkrabies who are also being told to have their wards locks cut, or Motown is a no town for his academic aspirations.
We went to the assistant headmaster, and he basically said the same thing. As a matter of fact, he was bragging and boasting that they have done it to others before, last year and the year before, and they took them to court and they won. So they're not afraid of us going anywhere we want to go.
No, but the Nkrabias say, no, Destiny, mama, look where you coming from, where destiny low. I wanna rule my Nkrabiastini.
Looking for the president to intervene. The president of this country, we want him to intervene, because if these people think they can violate the Constitution, then of course the president has to answer to that. He has to tell us why there are institutions in the country that is violating the Constitution. So we want to take it to the GES, and we want to take it to court. We want a class action, the lawsuit.
We'll come to GS soon, but my guy won many hearts when he pulled a Socrates, or should I say, an Efremamo?
Maybe I would go to St. John's with my sisters, because I have two of my sisters and my very best friend, Manasseh. He's also there. So I was considering then changing to St. John's. It's still worth it, because the school is no good as the students. Yeah, when we take Achimota and we eliminate all the students out, it's just a building. So having a dedicated soul in somewhere like St. John's, I still still works out.
Amazing. Now, the thing is, the school is no good as the students. Achon, Motown will be a ghost town without its students. I see what I say. I see him. I feel you, me, brethren. And what does it profit a school if all its students are like sheep? I mean, even sheep grass, some are black and white, while others are brown. Oh, yeah. But little did philosopher King Magai, aka Small Socrates, aspiring Efremamo, little did you know that he was inadvertently choking his twin sisters at St. John's. But we'll get to that very soon. Social media fell in love with his brains and his locks. GS was panicking. They were panicking, me brethren. They closed their eyes and gave an order to Achimota School to accept the boys. In fact, no one was bold enough to grant the media interviews authoritatively. It was all sources pleading anonymity.
On social media, the reactions have been mixed. Condemnations as well as endorsements have met the action of the school. But it seems the public outcry has done the trick. 48 hours after the incident, an official of the Ghana Education Service who pleaded anonymity told City News the school has been directed to admit the students.
Hooray! Come and see. All over there was jubilation, like, no night in the Zion, there is no night there. Hallelujah, there is no night here. Pararapapram. Rastafari is our light, and we don't need a Chimota light. Hallelujah, there is no night. Bien it on.
Smile is on my face. I'm very happy for the news that the GES and the Ministry of Education have taken a very positive initiative to ensure that these children goes back to school. Right? However, I am still a little bit concerned in terms of for the future, what happens. We would really like to understand if there is going to be a legislative instrument in place to ensure the collective security of these children for the future, wherever they are in Ghana.
Wow. Did you see the length of Mr. Nkrabia's locks? Amazing. Obviously, there was dancing in the homes of the Nkrabias and the Magais, but it was short-lived, as GES turned out to be, in the words of Black Rasta, a Tufle bulldog. But while the Nkrabias were dancing, Angel Kabonu wasn't happy. From today, remember that for every seemingly good news in your life, there is an angel who will kabonu you.
Very soon, we are going to have a lot of Rastafarians in our schools, because already our girls who are not Rastafarians, when they are on holidays, they have the Rasta hair that they do. So when they come to school and they say they've converted to be a Rastafarian, who are you, a teacher, to ask them to go and cut the dreadlocks that they have? I totally am surprised and very disappointed that the Ghana Education Service bent the rules for this Rastafarian. If he's a true Rastafarian, he should express it in his heart. So the Ghana Education Service begins to make these exemptions. They create chaotic situations in the school for we, the teachers, to manage.
Indeed. Angel Kabonu, strike commander. Ghanaians say in their minds they only see your usefulness when teacher unions are going on strike. When students fail woefully, we never hear you say anything useful. In fact, you never accept responsibility. Ajunior Hiankwa. Enjo Kabonu. Big ma. Some old St. Mary's girls say I should say hi to you for them and that you're a hard guy. So, really, the matter chop hot. But then, Mr. Kabonu, there is a parcel for you, sir.
Some of the things Angel has said I feel are not very good. For example, he is quoted to have said that Rastafarians should set up their own school. A person who runs a public institution or who's head of an institution like Nagra shouldn't be speaking like this. And Angel, I know you very well. We were both in Medina Queen of Peace Catholic Church. I don't think the Pope will be very happy with the statement you've made. So I think you should withdraw it. Saying that Rastafarians have their own schools is not inclusive, and it doesn't. This is not how people who speak in public should address sensitive issues like this. I know you feel that the school is being unfairly pushed around by the GES, and therefore Nagrat has to respond. But to say Rastafarians should set up their own schools in Ghana is completely offside. And I know you'll do the honorable thing. You call my radio show tomorrow and you retract that, because I know you won't say things like this normally.
Normally, shots fired. Officially, we have a beef. Kabonu, do something. And I remember Black Rasta saying with this tone very soon, they will say, Rasta should have their own toilets. Kuma. Discrimination. But for now, GS, if Black Rasta meets you, hey.
He went on to ask the principal, the headmistress, if she would make a compromise with the parent, and she said no. So I told him I'm going to court, because if there is no law in this land, if the school rules is above the Constitution, then let us see what the court has to say. It's a defiance. She outrightly told, I started to laugh, because it was just so funny to see that the headmaster is telling the GES that they are doing whatever they feel like doing. So the GES has no muscle. What is the purpose of the GES if they cannot bring some kind of resolution to this issue?
Revolution to the issue. Me feel you, me brethren. Me feel you. And clearly, the family was totally disappointed in the GES.
I'm quite disappointed because there was no room for compromise. They were only insisting that we cut the boys' hair, right? So I even asked, is there any compromise where we can even tie the hair a certain way where it will not look disgusting as, people perceive it?
Oh, I was getting emotional. So Father Nkrabia was like, baby girl, cool for me. And then he released the bomb. A lot of fake people, them a talk about loyalty. A real loyalty. Big money time.
I am not going to compromise on this issue because of the fact that they are putting their personal and religious feelings into the whole thing, right? Look at all these women. They're all wearing wigs. They're all wearing all kinds of artificial stuff. So they are anti the natural aspect of what they are seeing.
Shots by head. Basically, he's saying that Achimota headmistress, so GES officials, so fake him, so they don't understand what's going, you understand? But Cassandra Chum Ampofo, she is the PRO for the GS. Madam, thank you for joining us. What's your response to the punchline that addiction to fake hair is preventing GES and Achimota school officials from appreciating natural hair, please?
I'm a natural girl, yeah. I'm a natural girl, yeah. I'm a natural girl, yeah.
Basically, from fire pan into the firewood. The person speaking said, this is the land of Africa. If it were the Western world, it would have been a different thing. But that's the interesting point, because Africans travel abroad and people discriminate against their hair and their everything on their own soil. We discriminate against ourselves. But embrace everything and us. But Achimota people, apparently, you people, were once the light in our darkest days some time back. So I'm told. I mean, before in the light we see light, you were the lighthouse.
1st January 1934, Ephraim Amu gets a telegraph from, guess who? A.G. Fraser. Who is A.G. Fraser? A.G. Fraser is the first headmaster of Achimota School. He was a Scottish man. Reverend A.G. Fraser, Fraser House. A.G. Fraser offers Ephraim Amu an appointment at Achimota School to come and continue and teach students the things the Presby Training College sacked him for doing. So on 1st January 1934, Ephraim Amu writes a letter to the Synod Committee. Pastor and beloved masters, I wish to let you know that they have called me to the big school in Achimota. So the Presbyterian Training College sacked him for wearing cloth to preach and for playing the drum. Achimota School, Living Water to a Thirsty Land says, we want you to come. We need your far-sightedness.
I told you. I'm telling you. I'm sure Accra people are like, oh, sir, Ghanaians of Togolese origin. Omuhajipa, oh, better folk, pepper them for me. Give it to them.
Professor Aite Nko, please, I want you to reflect on Fraser and Agri and ask yourself, if A.G. Fraser and Agri were in Ghana today, and they were the principal of Achimota School, and Tyrone and Ohiniba came, what would they say? I'm just saying, think about the illustrious role Achimota has played as a trailblazer and innovator in education. A man was sacked for breaking some rule. Your school admitted him and said he was an innovator, and therefore the rest of us copied you. 88 years later, 2 young men, brilliant student, best student in his school. He says, I believe in this as my identity, my religion. You say no. I think we should not be at the wrong side of history. I think we should not be.
That's it. Burn it down, me brethren. Burn it down. Can't go, and you know what I say? But others are of the view that, Shally, just cut that thing after 3 years, then you grow it again. But the boys say, no. They don't know I am an tough. They don't know I am an. They said they are tough seed. They won't cut their hair.
Initially, I thought maybe you should cut your hair to fit into their institutional policy. But then I think it's not something necessary. Because coming into the school, they said they have to mold your emotional well-being and psychological well-being. We have been in first cycle school before. So it's like they are assuming when we get inside, our hair is going to interfere with our education or something. We've been in that situation in JHS already. There was no case whatsoever, like in any possible way. So I think their assumptions, they may need to do a more research on us.
You know, a few years ago, if you were a female police officer who closed from work and went to my church, where I fellowship, in your uniform, like trousers and all, without your duku, you'll be there and then somebody will go and grab some baby's diapers and quickly cover your hair with it. It doesn't matter whether Jesus is inside or not. The women were wearing trousers to church and it was seen as abomination. Then a new directive came that traditions without proper context is not true worship. So people should stop that thing and worship in spirit and in truth, because some of those who have the duku and the appearance of the Holy Ghost is like engine, some were deadlier than a bonson, he said. But come and see. But like you know, nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. Sadly, in Parliament, a whole MP, not half, whole MP said that the Rasta boys, if they admitted at Achimota, and Tampe price because room, now besan shortage say inflation versus scarcity and Tampe burn it down.
If you study Rastafarianism, it involves the smoking of weed. It includes the smoking of weed.
He says the enchampe will run out. That's interesting. Backpage people, thank you. Your MP has spoken. We hear. All right? Very strange, but we hear. Yeah, Tiase. When we return from this break, I have a cocktail of stories to share with you. Some made me happy, others made me sad. But there's this video I've seen of some congregation that's supposed to be in Tampe, something. Oh, discrimination is not good. You never know until you experience it. But let's go for a break. Hey, did I say it's good? Let's go for a break.
Life can get a little pricey out there. The passing pleasure of a restaurant meal. Or those sports magazines you never really finish. But what if that lasted a lot longer? Well, with GoTV it can. Because with a whole range of different package options to choose from, you can get a whole month's worth of moments for both you and your family at a price you can afford.
This is gonna be great.
GoTV, love it.
All right, so welcome from that break. This is Backpage on City TV. My name is Caleb Kuda. There's a story that made my soul glad. Meisha Palace. So the palace has ordered some private developer who cleared about 600 trees around the Lake Busumtree to plant more than several thousands of trees. The way I am happy now. Tomorrow again.
Nobody is supposed to cut a tree within 400 meters from any river or water body in this kingdom. That is one. If you cut a tree, you know the rule. You plant 100. The second thing is those who are planting who have already planted within the 100-meter buffer zone. We have given them up to June to stop planting so that we can plant grass and then reeds and then trees to make sure that we arrest erosion.
Kudos to the Meisha Palace. I'm very proud of this new directive. Somebody fells 600 trees and he's asked to replace them by 59,000 plus trees. That's solid. As for my people's people, even the land that has been reserved to bury them as chiefs when they join their ancestors, they have sold them. No, please, I'm not mentioning anyone's name, I beg. But if you know, you know. Chua, no money, blah. Yeah. Continue to try all your land, okay? Including the cemeteries and the wetlands. 2 people. What I can assure you is that the new Works and Housing Minister, no, he's a solid guy, and he will deal with all of you, including the Friday, all of you.
Government alone cannot address the issue of flooding. If, as a country, as citizens, we don't conduct ourselves in a responsible manner. Why am I saying this? Many people continue to dump solid waste materials into our drainage channels. People are dumping bicycles, refrigerators, and these are what is blocking the free flow of water.
Honorable, so you came with a key to causing Friday? No, you meant preventing the Friday. Me, I know there is no way you will come and cause more Friday. You understand? See, Edua, write your speeches down and practice in front of the mirror. And say your speech to your wife and your children, and they will give you feedback. Okay, they will tell you that, hey, this punchline is good. You will get headline on Peace FM online, City Newsroom, Joy. Hey, so them. And your work, your work, and I can't wait. You have such great work to do, and I can't wait to see you succeed. As for printing English, yeah, to be a bless. So more power to you. You understand? I have done some plenty stories that border on works and housing, turrets, and things like that. So as you have come, we do a lesson. Okay, now fellow Ghanaians, listen. To honorable shareholders from last week, pay attention.
That 19 billion cedis has to be paid for at some point. The liabilities we have incurred has to be paid for. COVID expenses are going to be with us at least for the medium term.
Does the 19 billion include the free water and electricity you gave?
It does. It's part of COVID-related expenses.
No, but you gave us that one hand and you're taking it back the other hand.
No, we were in the midst of a crisis and government had to front load.
You said it was free.
But it's free to you. It wasn't free to the treasury. And the government comes to a view that, with the greatest of respect, can we take 1% VAT to pay for that so that COVID does not become an ever-burdening expenditure item for us?
Yeah, but you...
Okay, and then pay attention to this one too.
Hey, y'all, come look at this. First is the claim that government says that you have to pay for the free water and free electricity of 2020 through the COVID-19 levy. You know that government has never said that.
Colleagues, this is what we call data nuancing. You see, Ghana Fankasano, sometimes when I say, oh, from your understanding is some way. So we also have to break things down to your understanding. Yeah. We don't think you understand us when we talk to you. You can't grasp the thing. You understand? So as I'm speaking, taps are not flowing and all that. And look, let me just be straight about this. Sometimes, can you just take us seriously? For once, like, sometimes. Like, why? I mean, the taps are not flowing. They have brought bills and cut the connection on the same day they brought the bill. Charlie, I don't know where the next drop of water will come from. I don't. Huh? And sure, no. And the Rasta matters aside, people are suffering.
Our voices need to be heard. We cannot. I'm not here for violence. I am not here for violence. But our voices need to be heard. There are people working 2 jobs. There are people who can't even sleep at night. You have no idea how I got my school fees. You have no idea.
This is really heartbreaking. I mean, the things people are going through. But I wish the journalists asked for explanation so we get a brighter appreciation of what people are actually going through. But whatever it is, we all know COVID-19 is killing us and taxes aren't any kinder. So, G.I.J. Minus, I'm told that you have actually opened up and you've listened to the people, and I like that. One thing I like about G.I.J. is how they can easily close their doors to their campus. Sorry, their compound. The whole school compound has one door, so if they want to do a luta, they just close the door. Agbena, case closed. Premier Journalism School, Papa B. Now, Vice President Dr. Baumia's office has been issuing statements these days. The last time he said all his life he has only one wife, so we should forget so-called Ramatu and things. This time he says the Break the Hate campaign, he's not part. He doesn't know about it. Cool, Doc, I wish you all the very best, okay? Now, John Mahama, though, there is a new survey. EIU says it expects the NDC to win in 2024, but not John Mahama. Now, some cadres say Mahama should come and account for he should come and tell them you can't just be dancing Maria just like that. But guess what? One of the rejected or neglected 3 wise men under Mahama is beating his chest today. He says he's the number 3 in the whole Ghana.
I want you to take this on board. Don't relax it. Don't relax the rules. The business of government is led by you in this house. You don't lead Parliament. You lead the business of the House. You lead the majority. And you lead government business. As to the role of the Speaker, you haven't reached there yet. When you get there, you do so.
No, to be honest, if both President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia make mistake and they travel out of the country at the same time, by the time they will return, now Speaker Bagbin has relocated the capital city from Accra to Nadoli Kalio. I'm telling you, man, love the power. Okay.